I got a new truck, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Hi, I'm Bill Berry, and welcome to my desert adventures. We're here at the entrance to the Barium Goldwater Bombing Range, just 2 miles from my new home here in Yuma, Arizona. It's operated by the Marine Corps Air Station out of Yuma. We're going to go on a 3-day trip. We're going to spend 2 nights at Ravens Butte, and we're going to drive on the historic Camino Del Diablo.
We're entering the range at the base of the Gila Mountains. 4 trucks, plenty of gear, and a spirit of adventure. We secured our required permits, which are mandatory for exploring this active military area. I was joined by my friends Pat, Robert, Elliot, and Bruce. It was a 90-minute drive to our first stop at the base of Ravens Butte. As you can see from this Google Earth rendering, it's wild and desolate country. When we arrived, we set up camp, built a campfire, spent some time looking around, had a nice evening meal, and enjoyed the beautiful moonlit night. The next day, we planned to hike to the top of Ravens Butte, then drive a short distance south to hike to the historic Tinajas Altas, huge granite rock basins, one of very few water sources along the Road of the Devil. As we began our hike up Ravens Butte, we were reminded of the harshness of this desert environment. Ravens Butte, a prominent landmark in the Berry Goldwater Range, holds significance in the early history of El Camino del Diablo. It was a vital navigational point and a symbol of survival in the treacherous Sonoran Desert. Its name and importance are intertwined with the legendary Raven, an indigenous guide whose expertise was instrumental to Spanish explorers navigating the desert. The butte is traditionally believed to have been named in honor of Raven, who assisted Father Kino, a Franciscan monk, and other Spanish explorers in the late 1600s and early 1700s. El Camino del Diablo runs through a large swath of the Sonoran Desert. It passes through Cabeza Prieta National Wildlife Refuge, Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument, and the Berry Goldwater Range. The route is approximately 250 miles long, with stretches of rugged terrain, lava fields, sand dunes, and mountain passes. Juan Bautista de Anza traveled El Camino del Diablo during his second expedition in 1774, which was part of his effort to establish an overland route from New Spain, modern-day Mexico, to Alta California. This expedition was a significant milestone in Spanish colonization and exploration of the southwestern United States, and passed through my favorite park, Anza Borrego Desert State Park. From a geologic perspective, Ravens Butte is primarily composed of volcanic rock, including basalt and andesite. These rocks are remnants of ancient volcanic activity in the region, which dates back millions of years to the Miocene epoch. During this period, extensive volcanic eruptions shaped much of the southwestern United States. Here's a look at our Ravens Butte hiking route. The hike to the top afforded stunning views and gave us a great perspective of the vastness of this area. Our hike down proved a bit harder than the hike up. We chose a canyon heading directly to the camp that required a slow and steady pace down the difficult and steep volcanic face of Ravens Butte. When we got back to camp, we had lunch, then jumped into my truck and headed to the Tinajas Altas, one of the most famous and reliable water sources in the region. These huge granite basins were guaranteed to have water and could save you from the deathly hands of El Camino del Diablo. When we arrived, we found that the lower basin had water, and I know that it has not rained in our area for over 2 months. While we explored the area, a ewe appeared above us and was working her way down to the lower basin. We didn't see any water in the second basin and were tired, so we headed back to camp to rest our weary bones. On our way into camp, we startled two bighorn rams on the flats below Ravens Butte. They walked right in front of the truck and made their way up to the butte. Everyone marveled at their dark color, which seemed to blend into the color of the volcanic rocks as they easily made their way up the steep face of the butte. The next morning, we got up early to have breakfast and pack up. We planned to drive up El Camino Del Diablo to Welton and then make our way to the Gila River at Sears Point, a magnificent petroglyph site. But I'll save that for part 2 of this desert adventure. Be sure to join me next time when we finish this epic expedition through the Berry Goldwater Range, past military artifacts, and on to Sears Point.